Hokkaido. Wild, huge, and full of surprises. Forget trains, we're doing 550 kilometers in 5 days by car. Volcanic craters, lavender fields, ninja villages, no schedules, no backtracking. Just you, a rental, and pure adventure. Ready? Let's roll! Day 1. New Chitose Airport to Sapporo. Pick up your rental at New Chitose, grab the Hokkaido Expressway Pass at the counter. You'll need your passport, and point the GPS toward the capital. The HEP covers 5 days of unlimited expressway access, making it a worthwhile investment on this route. Pro tip: Japanese GPS uses map codes, unique numbers for each spot. All codes are in the description. Copy them because cell service disappears fast outside cities. The stretch to Sapporo takes under an hour. If you're new to left side driving, this hour is your warm-up. If you're experienced, you'll still mix up the wipers and turn signals. First stop, Shiroi Koibito Park, the factory behind those white chocolate cookies that fill every souvenir shop in Japan. The factory tour lets you watch cookies glide by with surgical precision while you try to remember why your home kitchen looks like a crime scene after making brownies. The cookie-making workshop lasts around 2 hours if you want to get hands-on. Odori Park cuts through downtown Sapporo, a 1.5-kilometer green belt splitting the city in half. At its eastern end, the TV tower's observation deck offers sweeping views of the grid-like streets, making it easy to get your bearings. Insider tip: before the beer museum, fuel up at Nijo Market for lunch. It's less commercialized than Kurobe Market and serves kaisendon, a bowl of rice buried under crab, salmon roe, and sea urchin. The vendors here have been doing this for generations, and they know exactly how to stack a bowl so every bite includes at least 3 types of catch. The afternoon is reserved for the Sapporo Beer Museum. The museum itself is free, yes free, and walks you through the 150-year history of Japan's oldest beer brand. Red brick buildings, copper brewing vessels, and enough memorabilia to make any craft beer person feel emotions. The premium guided tour is a small fee, but it includes the sort of tasting that makes you suddenly very interested in brewing history. After 3 samples of limited edition varieties, the adjacent beer garden starts sounding like an excellent idea. Dinner is right there at the beer garden, and the dish is Genghis Khan. It's dome-grilled lamb served on a helmet-shaped hot plate, named after the Mongolian emperor who probably never ate this way, but makes for better marketing. The meat sizzles on the curved center while vegetables cook in the juices that drip down to the outer ring. They serve an all-you-can-eat and drink version that feels like a challenge and a celebration all at once. Time for sunset. Head to Mount Moiwa. The ropeway glides up to one of Japan's officially certified top 3 night views. Time your arrival for 30 minutes before sunset to catch the transition. The city shifting from daylight sprawl to a glittering circuit board of lights. Couples like to lock bells to the viewing deck railing here. Bring someone you like or just enjoy the view without the hardware store commitment. We've seen the urban side of Hokkaido today, but trust me, the nature only gets wilder from here, especially that active crater hike coming up on day 3. Tomorrow morning, we leave the concrete behind and head straight for the lavender fields. If you're loving this style of travel planning, hit subscribe so you don't miss our weekly itineraries. Watching on the big screen, the QR code is right here. Day 2, Sapporo to Furano and Biei. The drive from Sapporo is roughly 2.5 hours through the Doto Expressway. Fair warning, this stretch has 100-kilometer gaps without gas stations, so fill up before leaving the city. Farm Tomita is the main event. Rows of lavender, poppies, and marigolds stripe the hillside in colors that look oversaturated until you realize your phone camera is actually struggling to keep up. Peak lavender bloom hits mid-July when all 4 varieties flower simultaneously. The Odori field delivers that iconic rainbow stripe shot you've seen everywhere, except now, you're actually standing in it. Admission and parking are both free, which feels like a mistake on their part. Insider tip: tour buses from Sapporo roll in around 8 a.m. Arrive by 6:30 and you'll have the fields to yourself for golden hour photography. Also, the lavender soft serve isn't a gimmick, it's legitimately good. From Tomita, the route winds toward Biei. Forget the famous solo trees, 7 Stars Tree, Ken and Mary Tree, all those photographer pilgrimage sites. You'll drive potentially hours to photograph a single tree. Honestly, it's a desktop wallpaper, not a destination. Skip it. Shikisai no Oka is the better play. 15 hectares of flower fields with tractor-pulled carts that cruise directly through the blooms, not around them, through them. The ride lasts roughly 15 minutes and covers terrain you couldn't walk on your own. There's also an alpaca farm on the grounds because apparently Hokkaido decided flower fields weren't charming enough. Allow about 2 hours here. Quick detour for the hungry, Furano Cheese Factory sits about 15 minutes off the main route. Free admission, free samples, and an ice cream counter using milk from local dairy farms. The pizza making workshop is excellent for kids, but the real move is grabbing a cone and eating it on their outdoor terrace while looking at the rolling hills you just passed through. The day's final stop is Shirogane Blue Pond. The water glows an almost electric turquoise, the result of aluminum particles from the nearby hot springs mixing with the river, while dead birch trees rise upwards like something from a fantasy film set. Late afternoon is prime time, but parking fills fast, 220 spaces that seem to evaporate by mid-morning in peak season. Settle in around Furano tonight. Rest those legs. Tomorrow involves steam vents, bubbling mud pits, and a natural hot spring foot soak hidden in the middle of a forest. Day 3. Furano to Noboribetsu Onsen. Today's route covers about 200 kilometers and takes roughly 3 to 3.5 hours. The landscape shifts dramatically. Rolling farmland gives way to forested valleys. Catch a whiff of sulfur and you'll know you're almost there. Jiko Kudani, Hell Valley, lives up to its name. Steam hisses from cracks in the earth. Bubbling gray mud pits gurgle like something's about to emerge and ask for its lawyer. The main viewpoint loop takes around 30 minutes, winding past fumaroles and boiling pools with signs explaining exactly which minerals are responsible for each color. The extended trail toward Oyunuma takes another hour and rewards with fewer crowds and better views. The Oyunuma natural footbath hides at the end of a 15-minute forest walk from the parking area. A thermal stream flows through the forest. Locals set up rocks along the bank. Sit, soak. It's free, open 24 hours, and feels like you've unlocked a secret level. Bring a towel, you'll want it. The water temperature varies along the stream, so find your preferred heat level and settle in. If you're looking for a completely different experience, Date Jidaimura recreates an Edo period ninja village approximately 15 minutes away. Watch ninja stunt shows, throw shuriken at targets, wander through streets designed to look like 17th century Japan. It's cheesy in the best possible way, like a theme park built by people who genuinely love samurai movies and want you to love them too. Allow 2 to 3 hours to catch the shows and explore. On your way to tonight's stay, detour 12 minutes to Lake Kutara. This caldera lake holds some of the clearest water in Japan, 19 meters of visibility straight down into the blue. You'll probably have the shore to yourself. Swimming isn't allowed, but the view provides a peaceful contrast to the volcanic drama you've just left behind. Tonight, enjoy a Ryokan experience. Noboribetsu features 9 different types of hot spring water, which sounds like marketing until you actually feel the difference between sulfur, iron, and salt springs. The large resort hotels offer multiple baths in one complex. You can literally spend the evening trying different mineral compositions. A mid-range stay typically includes breakfast and dinner. The multi-course kaiseki dinner, think Japanese tasting menu, alone justifies the splurge after 3 days of driving. Quick poll, would you rather soak in Hell Valley's sulfur-rich waters or throw ninja stars at an Edo village? Comment your pick below. Day 4 offers sweeping lake views, Japan's youngest mountain, and a canal town that looks like it was designed specifically for evening strolls. Day 4, Noboribetsu to Lake Toya and Otaru. The morning drive to Lake Toya is about 45 minutes through mountain roads that twist just enough to keep things interesting. Usuzan Ropeway lifts you up the volcano's flanks in 6 minutes flat. At the top, you're looking down at Lake Toya on one side and across to Mount Yotei on the other, Hokkaido's version of Mount Fuji, complete with the perfect cone shape. The Crater Rim Trail opens from April through November if you want to extend the adventure with another hour of hiking. On clear days, the visibility feels almost excessive. Just below the ropeway station, Showa Shinzan sits as a reminder that this landscape is still very much alive. This mountain didn't exist until 1943, when volcanic activity literally pushed it out of a wheat field over the course of 2 years. A local postmaster named Masao Mimatsu documented the entire eruption in secret during wartime. His observation records are now considered invaluable to volcanology. He bought the land specifically to protect it from development. The mountain can be viewed from the parking area, though the Memorial Hall charges a small entry fee if you want the full story. Before leaving the lake, find one of the public footbaths lining the Toyako Onsen Promenade. Several options face the water with mountain views in the background. A setup that costs money at a spa, yet here it's open for anyone to enjoy. Soak your feet, watch the lake, let the morning settle before the next stretch. The journey to Otaru takes approximately 2 hours, swinging around Sapporo via the bypass. Keep an eye out for Michi no Eki rest stops along the way. These roadside stations serve regional specialties you won't find in cities. Ageimo at Nakayama Pass comes as deep-fried potato dumplings on skewers with Mount Yote views. It's warm, carb-heavy comfort food for mountain passes. Otaru Canal is the postcard shot. Stone warehouses from the early 1900s line the waterway, originally built for the herring trade that made this town wealthy. When the gas lamps flicker on at dusk, the whole scene softens into something that feels more European than Japanese. The steam clock near Sakaimachi Street plays melodies every 15 minutes, mostly to remind you that yes, this town really is that picturesque. Sakaimachi Street stretches through the historic district, packed with glasswork shops, music box boutiques, and bakeries that seem to be in a cold war over who can produce the most irresistible cheesecake. Le Tao started the double fromage craze here. 2 layers of cheesecake, one baked, one raw, both scientifically designed to disappear before you reach the exit. The flagship store offers fresh slices to eat immediately or frozen boxes for the journey home. Dinner works best near the canal. Fresh sushi dominates the menus. This was a herring fishing port before it became a tourist destination, and the seafood legacy runs deep. Find a spot with a view of the water as the lights come up. The evening reflection on the canal is worth lingering for. Your last day brings penguins performing for breakfast, a massive caldera lake that refuses to freeze, and one final strategic move that eliminates all your departure day stress. Trust me on this one. Day 5, Otaru, the hidden lake, and the final feast. For our final morning, we aren't just rushing back to the starting line. We're spending the first half of the day soaking up the last bit of Otaru's history and wildlife, starting at 9 a.m. when the doors open at the Otaru Music Box Museum. Inside, over 25,000 music boxes fill a massive 3-story hall with a 15-meter ceiling, 19th century antiques, custom mechanisms playing modern pop. Even if you don't buy anything, the sound alone is worth it. From the museum, it's 10 minutes along the coast to Otaru Aquarium. The location alone sets it apart, perched on a rocky cape where the Sea of Japan crashes against the shore. The penguin show runs multiple times throughout the morning, and unlike most aquarium performances, these birds actually seem to enjoy themselves. During winter, they literally waddle through the snow outside. The seal feeding happens at the outdoor pool where you can watch them launch themselves onto the rocks like mini torpedoes. The touch pool lets you interact with starfish and sea cucumbers pulled fresh from the bay that morning. Allow about 90 minutes here. After the aquarium, most tourists sprint to the airport. Don't. There's one more crater lake that'll blow your mind, Lake Shikotsu. It adds roughly 40 minutes, but it routes you through the Shikotsu Toya National Park, and the payoff is incredible. Lake Shikotsu is a giant caldera from 40,000 years ago, now filled with the clearest water in Hokkaido. Because of its depth, 363 meters at the deepest point, it's the northernmost lake in Japan that doesn't freeze in the winter. Park at the Shikotsu Lake Visitor Center and take the Lakefront Nature Trail, an easy 2-kilometer loop which takes approximately 45 minutes. Along the way, you'll catch those famous Shikotsu blue views, an intense, deep sapphire, visible from multiple angles thanks to the lake's extreme clarity. The trail winds through moss-covered forest before opening onto viewpoints where you can see Mount Eniwa across the water, still venting steam from its active crater. Interpretive signs explain the geology that created this landscape. It's a perfect cool-down after 5 days of driving. Gentle terrain, dramatic scenery, and the sort of quiet you only find this deep in a national park. From the lake, it's a short journey into Chitose City, and here is your strategy for a stress-free departure. Return the car tonight, not tomorrow morning. You'll miss the morning chaos. No traffic, no refueling rush, no stress. Once you've handed over the keys, take a short taxi or walk to your hotel near Chitose Station. Tonight, skip the convenience store and the hotel buffet. Chitose City has a fantastic local dining scene that most tourists miss because they stay at the airport terminal. Find a local Izakaya downtown, order a final round of sashimi or charcoal-grilled yakitori, and take a moment to slow down. Take a walk back to your hotel and think about what you just accomplished. In 5 days, you covered 550 kilometers on your own terms. You saw lavender fields in Furano, the neon blue pond in Biei, and the steam vents of Hell Valley. You navigated the mountain roads, stayed in a traditional ryokan, and saw a side of Japan that the bullet trains just can't reach. Planning a longer trip? Check out our detailed itineraries for Sapporo, Hiroshima, Kyoto, and Osaka, linked in the description to help you map out the full journey. Hokkaido is different. It's slower, vast, and wilder than the rest of the country. And now you know exactly how to master it. Thanks for exploring with Itinerary Insiders. See you in the next one.